Hello and welcome to episode number 14 of our podcast, Welcome to Livingston. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela. And this is our podcast, Welcome to Livingston,
where we talk all about everything Livingston County. And we are really excited today for our guest today from the Howell Chamber of Commerce. Today we have with us Janelle Best and Dianne Samples. So thank you guys for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us today.
Well, we just thought of you guys automatically as here we are into November and the Fantasy of Lights Parade is coming up. And that's such a big event for the community.
It's a big event for the community, and it's a big event for the chamber, too.
Yeah.
We're definitely looking forward to bringing the Fantasy of Lights back to Howell in its more traditional format this year. It's going to be exciting.
No, we're really excited about it, and I know so many people come downtown to see it. But for those of listening that don't know anything about it, can you tell us a little bit about the parade?
Absolutely. It's a little bit different in the idea that it is lighted. So every entry has to have lights. And the parade starts at 7 p.m. We also tag on a 5K run. And the 5K is also kind of a lighted 5K up and down Grand River. It's really cool and unique to runners because they get to run for a crowd, essentially, because the streets are already lined with people. And this year, for the first time ever, we are hosting a costume contest. So we encourage people to dress up. You'll see Santa Clauses and elves and you name it. And they're all dressed in their lighted attire. And it's really fun. So we kick off with the 5K, but things even kick off earlier than that. And Dianne could probably share a little bit about that.
This year we are bringing back, we're bringing back in the sense of the parade, but as far as we're bringing Santa back. So Santa arrives to State Street, which is going to be our T-Mobile holiday zone. And he is going to be arriving about 3:45, and we'll have the reindeer. We'll have some food trucks. We'll have some hot cocoa stations, a few vendors downtown that are supporting the Fantasy of Lights Parade. And of course, we have all of our local shops, our restaurants. They have been working tremendously hard. They have been Santa's little elves getting their stores already. Many have already done their Christmas open houses. So they are loaded with everything Christmas, and they are just really excited to have people coming in, shopping. Our restaurants will all be open. So we want people to come downtown early, come shop, dine, play. We'll have some entertainment. We'll have some of our local choirs coming out from the high schools, and then we have some strolling carolers. So there'll be lots to do.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'll be great too.
Kids can get their pictures taken with Santa right before the parade starts, between that 4 to 6 period. So we have a lot for people to do to come on downtown to Howell.
That is so awesome. And I know it's just such a big event, and it's so nice because, the day before on Thanksgiving, people can see parades on TV and such, or maybe they can head downtown, but this is a huge local event, and it's a parade at night, which is unique
Such
in
a
and of
novelty.
itself.
I don't know many places that have that or offer it. And
it is a little different. And I was sharing with you guys before we started the show here today that this will be my 4th Fantasy of Lights parade that I've experienced with the chamber. And I say this all the time, so I probably sound like a broken record, but it's one of my favorite events that we do. And I know I'm a little bit biased, but there's just something so heartwarming that is Howell for the holidays. And it is just a really great way to kick off the start of the holiday season. And just being downtown, it really just has that whole hometown feel. And just Santa comes to town and all of the lights. It's really a unique experience, and you can really feel the pulse of the community.
Oh, most definitely. Because I know I was driving through downtown last week, and the flags were up for Veterans Day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that means in a week the wreaths are going to be up and everything is going to be lit, and it's
because it's
just
this whole clockwork. You guys really,
It is. That's so funny that you mentioned that because they were putting the wreaths up and the bows up this morning as I was driving through downtown, and I was like, "Yay, there they are!"
Yeah.
I think what's really unique about this parade, and again, I've lived here all my life. I've raised my kids here, but this is truly, it's generational. It's truly a generational celebration. Grandparents are bringing their, they're going downtown with their kids and their grandkids. And this is something that, I experienced with my grandparents, and my mom and dad would bring us down, and we brought our kids down. And I don't have any grandbabies yet, but I'm looking forward to being able to bring them down to the parade too. And it's just something that really, it's just been the true start of the holiday season for so many families. So it's really special to be able to bring that back in its full capacity this year.
How amazing. And when you think of just the memories that has made, I mean, to us, that's what a community is, what it's about. And some of our prior episodes, we've talked about how it's kind of very Norman Rockwell-y. We have this fantastic little small town that all of us can just go down and enjoy and support, and just, the community itself. It really, I think this is a great event for those that haven't been, and then for those that come every year and make it a tradition.
Well, and I know the local bands get into it quite a bit. So we have two sons that are, one's in the high school band, one's in the middle school band. And I remember when our oldest son, Harrison, was in 7th grade, he was so excited to go out and find lights that, had batteries in them that he could put on his instrument and everything. And then we were getting out the Christmas decorations this last weekend, and they had the box of what all the lights were. So now our middle son,
Colin in 8th grade.
He's getting all the lights to put onto his instrument to be able to do it as well. So, I mean, everyone gets so geared up for it.
The traditions that just begun. And it's great that the schools get into it too, and just all of it, even as a business. Keller Williams, when we had been downtown,
in Howell,
there'll be a new office opening up down there again next spring. But when we were down there, we ended up that first year doing a lighted float. And boy, I had no concept for how challenging those are, the people that are putting these all together. And
they're very involved. And, to be quite honest, we didn't really realize it either until we started digging in the trenches and trying to make sure that we were providing our entries with as much information as possible. But there are all sorts of tips that we can offer. There's generators involved. I mean, there's a lot to it. But you mentioned the businesses getting involved. And what drives this event are our businesses, our sponsors, our supporters, but also our committee. And we have an amazing committee that, Dianne and I have been at the chamber, and it's really been just the two of us in a full-time capacity for a while now. So we were really unsure if we were going to be able to pull this off this year, because we've typically operate on a much larger staff. So we met with the committee and said, this is what we're looking at for this year, and we want to really bring the event back. And after that first kind of initial meeting that we had in July, it was really apparent that we were going to be able to make this happen because of the support that they lend to this event.
Great feeling. See, and that's the community. That's so Livingston to me.
It is. Yes. It really is. And they're made up of all businesses in the community, and it's amazing the work that they do, and what they've been able to accomplish and help us achieve in the past couple months.
Well, we are all very grateful to all of them for sure, because that is such an important part of
this, and the volunteers too. I mean, what I think a lot of people don't realize is how many volunteer hours it takes, not only in the preparation, but the day of. There's just so many moving parts. And like Janelle said, there's no way that, just a staff alone would be able to do this. We rely so heavily on the committee, but also on the volunteers that come forward. And, I mean, this is a family weekend, and they offer up their time, and they're, because they're excited and they love this event, and they want to make sure that we're able to bring it back to the community and to our local businesses, because this is, such a critical time for them, and to make sure that we're, promoting the businesses and just promoting the community, and what a great place this is to live and play and work.
Right. And how many floats are you guys expecting this year?
So I know are probably around 35.
I think we're 35. Gosh. We might even be a little bit higher than that right now.
That is awesome.
They've been trickling in. We will still accept some applications, because, the more the merrier, truly.
Right, exactly.
True.
So we would love to get them in, and that is really exciting, because I think when we look at 2019, we had about 37 or 38. So we're right about
gosh,
which
is fabulous.
And I know I've walked up and down where they stage down there by the old Citizens Building and into the high school and such. It's just amazing to see them down there and be able to see all the activity and such. And for the race, what do you guys expect for that? I know that there's registration up until day of. I was looking online today.
Yes, and we know we will have many registrations the day of that, but I would caution somebody who's maybe looking to or kind of on the fence about registering to actually go do that now, because we are capping the race at 500 runners, and we are above where we normally are at this time as far as registrations go. So we are trending in a really positive direction. So we're anticipating 500 runners at this point, and we want to make sure that we can get everybody in.
Right,
Great.
and that's rain or shine or snow, because we've been down there when it's snowing before and rain and everything.
Yeah.
So
Think of everything.
And I think that's something too for those people who maybe have never visited the Balloon Fest, the Fantasy of Lights. My mind is already.
We'll do that in the spring.
The Fantasy of Lights.
That'd be great.
It is such an awesome experience to watch the run. I mean, because
Yes.
again, you don't, like Janelle said, there's not very many races where you have such a captive audience, and to see everyone lit up and it's dark and the music, there's music playing. It's just such a festive atmosphere, and to watch the runners go, and they're having so much fun, and it's families. You see families with little kids, and people walking next to them, and it's a really, really fun thing to go and witness before the parade starts.
you can work off the turkey from the day before.
There you
So-
go. Exactly.
Hopefully out of the turkey coma before then.
Yes. So let me see here. No, but it's the one thing I wanted to point out is the number of lights though on it, because when we did the float, we were shocked at how many strings of lights it takes just to get close to what the minimum is, because you can't get in to just have a little bit of lights. I mean, they are just lit up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I actually don't know the number off the top of my head, but I want to say, is it 4,000 or 6,000?
It's right around
It's a
there.
big number.
Yeah.
It's thousands.
It's
yes.
thousands.
And then you realize a string of light has like 150, 200 lights on it.
And the amount of power that it takes to generate
Yes.
that, to keep those lights lit while you're going down Grand River is always, I think, probably the biggest hurdle for most people that are building the float to kind of imagine how that's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of sort of the highlights, I mean, is there, trying to think.
Well, I know I would say to anyone out there, get out there early. I know that you see
Absolutely.
those chairs setting up quite early for
Oh,
that. The
that's
day
true.
the day before, sometimes you see chairs set up and such. Parking, be patient for getting out of there, but it's just an amazing, wonderful experience. We'll be down there this year. Usually we're down by the theater somewhere, but it's just a lot of fun.
It's neat because I feel like everybody has kind of, to your point, Diane, the tradition, and you go every year, then you also go
It's your
to your
spot.
spot.
And there better not be anybody in your spot.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and to your point too, is just be kind as people are coming in, and be patient, because it's really crowded, and we are anticipating a fairly large crowd this year, because we didn't have the same event in 2020. And the people that are out there, a lot of them are volunteers, and we work very closely with our Howell Police Department to make sure that it is a safe event, and our city DPW as well. So just taking the time to plan accordingly, plan for that extra time at before or after the event, because it is going to get congested, but that's a good thing right now.
It
I
is.
mean, we want
Yeah.
people in our downtown. We want them supporting and shopping local. So we are excited to welcome them, and we also want to make sure that it's not only a good experience for those people that are coming to visit, but also for our volunteers, so they come back again.
Amen to that, for sure.
And we also don't, I want to make sure that we mention our businesses that are on kind of the east and the west side of town too. As you're coming in, plan for that accordingly. We have the outlet mall. They'll be open for sure for Black Friday. We have other businesses and restaurants that are a little more on the east side of town. So, please plan on visiting them as well, and maybe making that part of your day to just kind of shop throughout Howell.
Yes.
That's a great point, for sure. It's a great way to just spend the day in Howell. really.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
There's so much to do.
Yes.
Yes, and I know, like you said, this holiday season is so important to those businesses downtown and such, especially given last year, the last 2 years, and everything being open again and such. that it's just a really good opportunity to shop local and to walk and to be able to hop into these businesses and such and see what they have to offer.
Yeah. A lot of them have so many great things to offer. All of them do. It's just, it's really great for Christmas shopping too. Because you
Yes.
get
This is
very
true.
unique items, and we always want to think local when we're thinking holidays.
Yes.
Yes.
And they
for
will
sure.
all be open during the parade as well. I have checked with a lot of the downtown businesses, so that's a great thing too. When, like you said, with the congestion going out, maybe plan to do
Take
a
your
little
time.
shopping after the
There you go.
parade.
Yeah.
The restaurants will be open. We'll have our food trucks there, so there'll be lots of opportunities
Right.
to shop and grab food and kind of let the congestion die down a bit before you
Right.
attempt.
And I
to-
know food trucks have been such a big thing lately the last couple of years. Where are those going to be again?
Right on State Street. So right there at Grand River and State Street.
Okay,
and
so
our
where the
T-Mobile-
farmers market usually is.
Yep. That's our T-Mobile holiday zone this year. And Dianne has probably a pretty good idea of who exactly is attending. We know Captain's Wood-Fired Pizzas will be there.
Yep, we will have
Oh,
hero
there's a
or
great-
villain, so they will be there. So we'll have a good array of food for everybody, and then we'll have Good Sense Coffee.
Okay.
And then a little farther down by the Cobb Hall, there will be Tony's Dogs. So it'll be great to be able to have someone on that end of town. You can grab a hot dog. We'll have S&K Kettle Corn. So they will be at Walnut Street, and then a little farther down, more towards the staging center there at the old Citizens Building, we'll have the Boy Scouts, and they will be selling hot chocolate as well.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, all the more reason for people to, just be able to be there,
Right.
grab a bite.
Yeah.
And I know that the Fantasy Lights is right here, right now. But I mean, as the chamber, you guys help with a lot of different events. And I wanted to give an opportunity here as well to kind of talk about the other things that you guys do and other things that are going on throughout the year.
Absolutely. No, thank you for checking in on that, because things have been a little bit different and looked a little bit different as we've navigated this pandemic. But we are excited to be moving forward with more of a business as usual slate and calendar in 2022. And, events are definitely a part of our mission, but they are just a part of it. So we work on multiple things throughout the year to support our members through business services, but really are taking a big look at economic workforce development, catalytic leadership, and just community and overall organizational excellence. So those are kind of our three main priorities that we're looking at. And as we move into 2022, we are fully anticipating a traditional Citizen of the Year and annual dinner event. We have newly formed a partnership with the Greater Brighton Chamber of Commerce, along with the Heartland Area Chamber of Commerce, the Livingston County Chamber Alliance. So we will be launching the Changing the Game speaker series in January. So we're all very excited about
How
that.
cool. That'll be fantastic.
It is very exciting. We really have worked hard to put together a dynamic series that focuses on key issues facing Livingston County and our region. And they're all really based around economic development, infrastructure, leadership. So some of those priorities that I mentioned just a few moments ago. So those will go, it's a 5-part series, and it will conclude, I believe, in October of next year. You can sign up for everything now. So that's really exciting. And then we are also planning a traditional Balloon Fest event.
Awesome.
Yes. So I know that a lot of people are going to be really excited to see that come back in its traditional format. And I believe it's June 24th, 25th, and 26th of 2022. And we couldn't be more excited to hopefully see some balloons fly this year. I know
It's a
that
long time coming.
a lot of our pilots and a lot of our local fans are really looking forward to that. So,
Well, that's one of the things with the Balloon Fest that's so unique about Livingston County. I mean, where else can you live that, you're sitting out on the back porch and then you hear that sound and you're like, okay, where is it coming? Is it, so I mean, we just love that. And then being able to get up early and go see where they're trying to drop it on the target and such. It's just such a unique,
The glow at night.
the glow is amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to have you guys back to talk about that event, because
Absolutely.
that's a really spectacular one as well.
that's,
Yep.
that one is, we could go on and on about, because there's so much, but like you mentioned, the the fly-ins, oh my gosh, where they're throwing it at the target or doing different challenges is amazing. So I don't think a lot of people realize that this is a challenge and it's a competition, and where the pilots come and they compete for points to be entered into Worlds. So it's I had no idea how involved all of this was, but we have a competition director that comes in and they do scoring. There's a whole scoring team. So that component in and of itself is just kind of this whole other animal that I don't necessarily know. If you haven't seen it, it's just so cool to see how they're actually able to, these pilots, navigate something so large as a hot air balloon to hit these different spots.
Right.
It's amazing.
Especially when it's hard to control in the wind and the elements.
Yes.
Well, it's just so interesting. You know, the years that we would wake up, we were like, oh, the wind's coming in this direction this year. We're going to see all the balloons this morning from our back porch. So, you know, that is just so nice. But the thing that I find unique about Howell and about Livingston County is even people that have lived here 15, 20 years, sometimes they don't realize the events that are here or the things that are going on. You know, they come to downtown and they're like, why is Grand River closed today? They just, you know, it takes that extra step to just see these amazing activities that you can go to.
Yeah. And, you know, when we talk about community excellence, I mean, that's exactly what we're striving for. You know, Diane's mentioned it a couple times today, but it's just a wonderful place to live, work, raise a family, start a business, own a business. And that's what we're about. I mean, that all drives the economy here, and we want regional prosperity. And when our downtowns are thriving, so is the rest of our region. And we know that. And by providing good quality events, you're attracting people to the region, not only to visit, but to want to live here. And I know you guys know a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Even when we had Pam in from the Brighton Chamber to talk about the Blues and Barbecue Fest, that's one of the things we said, that, you know, there's people that are coming from outside the area to these events and realizing, wow, this is a really great place to live.
Well, and I think what, and sometimes you had mentioned when you live here, and like I've lived here all my life, and it is easy. You kind of take it for granted. You know that the Balloon Fest is coming, but again, you still sometimes are like, oh, why is Grand River closed? Or why can't I get through town? Why is it taking me 20 minutes? But all of these events, I mean, they are all based on the mission of, you know, providing that economic driver for our businesses throughout the entire region. Every event we do, that is the underlying mission, is we want to, you know, we're bringing in these people, and like Janelle had said, not just for that weekend, we're bringing them in so that they can see what an amazing community this is. They can visit our businesses and see how the businesses are supporting each other and how the community supports the business. And that attracts them. They want to bring their families here. You know, especially with Balloon Fest, you know, they're seeing all of our schools and they're like, oh, wow, you know what? I want to move my family here. I want to come here. I want to live here. I want to play here. So that's really what drives all of our events. You know, it's great to have the fun and the, you know, the excitement around them, but there's always that underlying mission that we really are trying to bring that prosperity to this region.
So we can attest to the fact that is working, because people are coming to Livingston.
Yeah, and we can just see the growth in Howell in the past few years. I mean, with the new children's park area downtown there, which is so
Howell
cool.
Summit Garden.
Yes.
Yes, I know. Our Main Street, I believe, just won an award for that project.
How fantastic.
So, yeah, that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I love them. Was it 2 years ago that the murals got painted downtown, or was that? It's been a while, but those are really nice.
It's been a few years. Yes, it has been. And that is, again, just another great way to get the community involved and, you know, helping with that. And I mean, with little kids especially, I mean, my kids are grown, so we didn't have that opportunity. But as a parent, to be able to take your kid, you know, downtown, your child downtown, and be able to have them paint, you know, a little portion on the wall and then to walk by it, you know, day after day, it's pretty, I mean, that's pretty special.
Well, I know the Howell schools, you know, when our kids were in elementary, they had the history day, where they come downtown and they get to walk every place. So then
that was my favorite of any of the field trips, because it helped the kids really feel more at ease and at home about the community, and even for us parents that didn't grow up here, to learn. and know more.
Well, they
about
all wanted to
their-
tell us about Peanut Row and where the elephant is buried.
Yeah.
And
Goodness, or even the Opera House, which we're going to have them in a couple of weeks. But just some of the, history and the, legends there.
yes.
So much is really great. Now, in terms of, since this is Livingston County, and I want to make sure to touch on this because I love asking our guests this. For the both of you guys, what's your favorite thing about Livingston?
I knew that you were going to ask that, and it's really hard to say. It's funny because we were talking a little bit about the radio show and that we have at the chamber, and I ask people these types of questions. Now I know how they feel. I think Livingston County, it's interesting because I come from Oakland County, and I did a lot of work in Oakland County too. But Livingston County is a community. And that is probably my favorite part of Livingston County in general. It's just, it's a county that has a community feel.
Yes.
And that's what I feel truly makes Livingston County so special.
I could totally see that. That is fantastic. And how about you, Diane?
I am going to piggyback off of Janelle here a little bit because I have a little different perspective because I have lived here all my life, and we've raised our kids here. And but I've also worked in Oakland County and have been involved with many different communities throughout Oakland County. And I do agree, Livingston County, it's just a very special place. It's a wherever you go, whether you're in downtown Howell or you're in Heartland or you're in Brighton, there is a very strong hometown feel, and everybody is extremely passionate. I mean, I'm a Highlander, and I mean, the rivalry between, the Highlanders and the Bulldogs will forever be one of the largest rivalries in the state, but it's that passion, it's that drive, and you feel that wherever you go. And it is a very small town, even though we're not by any means a small town. I mean,
It
we're
sure
all,
feels that
but
way.
it feels like it. I mean, the
Yes.
whole entire region is growing, and we're one of the largest counties in the in the state of Michigan, and it's continuing to grow. But wherever you go in Livingston County, there is a very close knit, and the businesses too. The businesses support each other. They want everybody to be successful and prosperous because they realize that in the end helps them. I mean, if all businesses are thriving, all businesses are thriving.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So they help each other, whether they're their competitor or not. I mean, they want everybody to do well.
Right. And we've had such growth in the past 20 years. And it's interesting because both Angela and myself, we came from Oakland County, and we moved out here in 2002. And our parents were like, "You're moving where? How far away are you? Oh my
they
gosh."
thought it was crazy.
They felt like that was the end of the earth. But at the same time, one, we're close to everything here. And two, you don't have to leave the county for just about anything. I mean, we have everything
Anything you can
accessible
want.
right here. And it's just, it has such a great community feel. And I mean, we have our kids in the schools out here, and
We are a
coaching
house
sports.
divided, by the way.
Yes.
Last year when we moved, we're out of districts, so
Yeah, so our two oldest are in Howell schools, and our youngest is at Maltby in Brighton schools. And it was so interesting because she's in cheer, and the boys came to the game she was cheering at, and it was Howell versus Brighton. And our daughter Evie walked up to our middle son Colin and said, "You're sitting on the wrong side of the field."
Oh, man.
So cute.
we're a little of everything. But
Yeah.
but both districts have been fabulous, and our boys said we're not leaving, and we said it's been a great district. Why not? So we're just an adventure, and so in terms of that big split in competition.
But I mean, for the most part, it's always been a friendly competition. And it's something that, I mean, it drives the kids. I think it's a great thing, that motivation to have that.
Absolutely.
But again, I just think that that's part of what makes this community so special, is that we can be, kind of a divided community on the sports sense.
Right.
But when it comes to everything else, I mean, it's that passion is what brings us
Oh,
all
no,
together.
and it's so collaborative.
Yeah.
You guys said with you working with the Heartland Chamber and the Greater Brighton Chamber and such, to be able to have that, and everyone wants to work together, and we're all working towards the same goal, and that's just such a nice thing.
Well, and I do want to mention, to that collaborative nature, we find that with other realtors in the county. So there's almost like this real estate community that has a culture unto its own where we're all helping each other. It doesn't matter if I work at this company and you work at that one, and we're social, we're friendly, and we all help each other out. And that's just remarkable in my mind too. But it speaks to that culture that we were talking about that you see with other businesses.
It does. It really does. And, to Diane's point and your point, I think businesses they're here to support other businesses and other organizations too. Again, I can't thank our sponsors enough because they've just are so giving and generous. And our Cobb Hall has been and comes back continuously year after year to support our Fantasies of Lights as the major sponsor. And it's just amazing to me to have that kind of support.
And that commitment that that there's that reliability. You can count on them. And the people coming down, connect them to this event as well.
Right. So based on that, if someone wanted to get involved and volunteer for some of these events and such, how do they get involved in the chamber or get involved in those types of things?
Well, they can absolutely contact myself or Dianne directly. We can help point them in the right directions. There's so many things to get involved in that I would say that's probably the best first step. Also going to our website, visiting howell.org. We have a lot of information out there. There's an opportunity to join as a member to start receiving member benefits. But that's honestly the best way to get involved. We have all sorts of committees. And again, just volunteering for some of our events, we'd love to have you. So just Dianne or me directly. And my email is jbest@howell.org. Mine
is dsamples@howell.org. Keep it simple. Yeah. And the website is howell.org.
That's
So, and like Janelle had said, we're in the process of updating some of the content on the website, but for the most part, the information regarding the events and are up to date. And then you can, if you're a new business to the community and you can join right online, give us a call. We're happy to sit down and just talk about all of the things that how the chamber can work with you to help you prosper and grow.
Oh, and I would say to anyone out there that it is a great opportunity to get involved and volunteer. I volunteered before on the Balloon Fest when you guys had the family fun tent. And I helped with the YMCA in there doing some of that such, and then through the Boy Scouts as well for some of the different events. So anybody, it's a wonderful way to get to know other people, to get involved in the community, to support.
That are new here. All these people that have moved in out of the county, what a great way to meet other people.
We always say it's a great opportunity for professional growth, but an even better opportunity for personal growth because you make long-lasting, meaningful connections. And I can provide that as a personal testimonial because I never would have thought that some of my greatest friends and closest friends would be ones that I met through the chamber, but they are.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that's what it's about. Wonderful. So.
Well, was there anything you guys wanted to add at the end here?
Just come on down to Howell for Fantasy of Lights this year. We would love to see you.
Yeah, and I think it's everyone should head down. If you haven't seen it before in person, come down and see it. It is a wonderful experience. Get some hot chocolate, enjoy all the great lights. Everyone has a smile on their face. It's a ton of fun, and we're going to be out there this year checking it out. We'll have 2 kids in the parade, and you never know, maybe I'll decide to run as well. So we'll see.
But we appreciate you guys coming in today and taking the time, and we're just so excited to feature you guys and feature this great event.
Well, thanks for having us.
No problem. Well, thank you guys so much. All of you listening out there, please check out the show notes. There's information in there on how to contact the Howell Chamber of Commerce. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere that you listen to your podcast. And please subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or questions, please reach out to us. We are always here to help. So thank you so much for joining us today.
And welcome to Livingston.